Hello Ashwini and Ramya, welcome back to MYCAS College.
Hello sir.
Before we proceed with this podcast, I just want to give an introduction about the guests of the day. We have CA Ashwini Hegde and CA Ramya Kashyap. Both of them studied here at MYCAS, completed their graduation, and from there they went on to complete their chartered accountancy course. So here we are in a conversation with our alumni. We feel proud to have them here today. And in this podcast, we will try to understand their journey that has led and made them the qualified chartered accountants. Once again, welcome to MYCAS College. Let's start with a very basic question. So Ramya, first question, I'll pose it to you. Where did you do your schooling and college?
I completed my schooling from Nirmala High School and later completed my PU and degree from Mysore Institute for Commerce and Arts, which is called MYCAS today.
Great. And Ashwini, how about you?
I did my schooling in CFTRI and my PU was in Sadvidya Composite PU College and degree was in MYCAS College.
Nice. Great. I have another question. Generally, doctors, engineers, chartered accountants, people who complete their professional courses are academically bright. How about you both? How bright were you when it comes to academics?
I think I was pretty good in academics. My scores were above 90 in schooling or even in PU. So the people expected around me that I would take up science mostly. But I was very clear that I will take up commerce because in my mind I was that I want to become a businesswoman, and that is the reason I actually took up commerce, and later I came across CA and that is how I took up.
Great. How bright were you, Ramya, in school and college?
I was pretty good at academics. I had the basic solid foundation since beginning, and because of that I could achieve the current success that I'm having today. So initially also from schooling I was being a topper and also from college. So everything added up and today I'm a chartered accountant.
Nice. Good. The next question that I want to ask both of you is, when is it that both of you decided to become chartered accountants? See, when we are in school, we mostly talk about science education. I don't know how it is now. I'm talking about say 10-15 years back, everybody were talking about becoming an engineer or a doctor, something like this. Very few talk about commerce. In that, very few talk about chartered accountancy. When did you come across this course and profession, and when did you decide to become chartered accountants?
So when I was doing my second year, the next step would be a degree, but along with degree I wanted to do some other course also. So that's when I started searching about different courses, and I came across CA, CS and all. And when I joined for degree, at the same time even MYCAS started CA foundation classes, and coincidentally it was good for me, and I started my foundation from the college.
Great. How about you, Ramya? When did you start?
Initially when I completed my 10th standard and was looking out, as I also had very good marks and I had received couple of scholarship to pursue my pre-university in science education. Okay. But I did not wanted to have that, and I did not wanted to follow, as you said, the stereotype where people having good marks should always take up science and continue either choose doctor or engineer. But I did not wanted to follow that. I wanted to do something different. So in the meantime, my mom also she had a dream of becoming a chartered accountant. So I was inspired by that, and she gave me some insights of this course, and later I chose commerce, and because of my parents' guidance and support, I chose commerce and continue with this. And later when I joined this college, I got to know about the CPT Foundation CPT Foundation course, and later continued with that and continued my journey towards CA.
Nice. Are there any chartered accountants in your family?
No sir, I'm the only one. First one.
Nice. How about you, Ashwini?
Same sir. There's nobody.
You are the first in the family. Yeah. Nice. Great. The next thing is, how many years did you actually take to become a chartered accountant?
After I completed my graduation, I almost took 5 years to complete, including the articleship and the exam.
Yeah. And how about you?
Yes sir, almost 5 years.
5 years.
Simultaneously, when we take into consideration with our intermediate and articleship, it would be 5 years.
So my next question is, see, now that you are chartered accountants, you're working, you have seen a lot of things related to this entire profession. If there is somebody who is watching this podcast and keeps interest in becoming a chartered accountant, from where and from when should they actually start their preparation? What is it that you want to tell them?
In CA there are two entries. One is foundation and one is direct entry scheme. So if you want to go with the foundation path, then you can start it after the second PU also. So it would be better if you start preparing soon after your second PU and then take up inter and articleship. But if you want to complete your degree and then take up intermediate, then at least after 1.5 years of graduation, you can start preparing, and then after completion of graduation, you can start with you can take up the intermediate exam. So it depends on how you decide you want to take up the exams. If you want to go with the foundation side by side with the graduation, you can continue with the preparation.
Ramya, how important would be the PU classes and course when it comes to CA as a program?
So PU classes are like, I can say they are the golden days because they are very much important in building our foundation. We get to learn the basic foundation here, and the CPT where we write our foundation exam for CA, it is all dependent on whatever we study for from our PU days. So it really matters. If we have the strong foundation, that would build a career out of it. So these are very much important, sir.
See, the general tendency, be it with science students or commerce students in PUC, is first PUC is not important. They feel that they have done a great thing by clearing class 10 examination. So first PUC they can relax, and when they come to second PUC, let us start preparing either for CA, CS or CET, NEET, whatever it is. How right is this approach?
What I feel is the commerce subjects are new for us. In schooling, we will not have any background of what is accounts, what is business, what is economics. So when you come to PUC, all these subjects are very new. So first year will be in understanding what is accounts, the basic of accounts, what is economics. So in second year, the next level you will be able to understand when you have got a strong understanding in the first PU. So in that sense, first PU is very important in understanding the subject, getting used to what the different concepts of accounting or economics. So that will make your second PUC easier, and you will be able to understand different courses which actually is interesting to you. When you have got that basic understanding in first year, it will be easy for you to decide the future course of action.
Ramya, do you agree with us?
Definitely, sir. That is where we learn the concepts of accounting. If we don't understand the basics of that, it would not be possible for us to learn the much bigger concepts. So first PU is definitely important.
See, in PUC Commerce, if we specifically talk about PUC Commerce, there will be three major subjects that we study: accountancy, business studies and economics. These are the three major subjects. There are other options also available. We can study computer science and statistics and sort of avoid economics. But if I have to ask this question to you, these three subjects remains very important. Out of the three, which has got a bigger role to play, or all three of them equally important?
All three are relatively important, sir, because one thing is when it comes to accounting where we day to day deal with that, and that is very much important. When it comes to business studies, we get to know the environment, the business in which we are in, the industry knowledge we get to know from that. And when it comes to economics we'll get to know the supply, demand, the market structure, everything. So all three, it is really important for commerce students.
Right. So in that stage, say once we clear second PUC, eligible for foundation examination, and students take up the foundation examination, how hard are these exams?
CA is challenging, sir. The main thing is the volume of the syllabus. There are 8 papers, or now it is 6 papers and 2 self-paced modules. So the volume is huge. So you have to cope up with that volume and time management. you first understand the subject and then you want a time for revision for all those 8 papers. So, and even in exam, managing the time within the 3 hours. So, volume and time management is what makes it more challenging than terming it as hard or easy. Also, telling it hard creates a pressure on the student, because I myself have faced in a recent exam, in the law paper, I actually saw the paper and I was very pressurized. I had read the whole syllabus, I knew everything, but seeing the questions, I was blank actually. But later I calmed myself and started with 1 question or 2 questions which I felt I knew. And later while writing, I got to know that, oh, I know this also, because it's the pressure that comes to our mind, because of which we underperform. So I think without taking the pressure with determination, it is possible.
Right. Ashwini, you are big on writing. I keep seeing you writing one or the other thing, especially in your LinkedIn account. If you have to write about 3 important tips for aspirant, CA aspirant, what would those tips be?
First, I think having a good teacher, a good mentor is important, because CA, you have to be technically strong. For that, a good teacher will be of much useful, and whenever you get doubts, clarifying the doubts is very important. So I think having a mentor or a teacher is very important. And second is being consistent. You have to be consistent in your studies. You sit for 1 day and don't sit for another 2 days. That will not happen in CA. So you have to be consistent. And other thing I would say, writing practice is important. One thing is your speed increases, and second is, what I used to do, especially in practical subjects, I would take up a question and the suggested answers were beside me. So I would write 1 step and see if I'm doing correct, and later in second step, even if I get stuck, there is some resource which I can look up to. But when I went to exam, what happened in my accounts paper is, I knew everything. I thought I can write everything seeing the questions. But when I started writing, I started getting doubts. That was because I did not write it closing the books, without the resource material. So that is something I suggest that everyone should do. Once you read the subject, close it, take a question without saying you have to start and complete it. Then only you will be able to manage that in exam, because in exam you will get other doubts.
So if I have to summarize, you are telling, have a great mentor, maintain consistency. 3 is write and practice, without seeing write and practice. So these 3 things will somewhat help somebody do well in CA. Great. What about you, Ramya? Is there anything that you want to add?
I just want to add one more, is that one should not be demotivated just because 1 or 2 attempts is not happening. So one should not get frustrated, or why is it happening only to me? That should not be the case. One should take that as a challenge, and one should understand where am I going wrong, which part is making me fail. That should be considered, and if that is sorted, everything goes well.
This prompts me to ask 2 questions to you. Number 1, they tell in CA attempts doesn't matter. What matters is the end result. Is it true? Because you are working for JP Morgan now. When you went for the interview, were they particular about the number of attempts or the knowledge you carried?
It is both, sir. When it is first time after completing this course and go for a job, if we have 2, one is employment as well as practice. When it comes to employment, when we step up for job, the first thing they ask is, one thing is knowledge, and the second thing is attempts, number of attempts. So only that particular point of time, attempts really matter, because more the attempts, the lesser the scope that we get. So first attempt, 1 or 2 attempts is really, it is fine. But more than that, people would, though the person is having knowledge, they would definitely not select that rather than the person who has completed with 1 or 2 attempts. Yes.
And you spoke about motivation. If I have to ask this to you, personally, what kept you motivated during this journey of chartered accountancy?
Motivation when it comes to CA course, everyone would have that the 2 letters CA before their name. That is the one and first motivation that everyone comes up. So if I have to say CA Ramya, Kashyap or whatever, so CA thing plays a very important role. Apart from that, the career opportunities, the growth after we complete this course really matters. So when we do this course, there is no turning back, there is no fall in this course. So even if it is a small, medium or large company, everyone wants a CA. Everyone, when it is finance perspective, they want a CA. So there is no seeing back. It is only the hard work that is important for 3 to 5 years, and the life is sorted.
Is it that Ramya always visualized herself having those 2 letters as prefix to her name and working for a corporation? Did you always visualize that and work towards it?
Yes, sir, definitely. I had that. I wanted people to call, oh, you are a CA. That respect that we get after we pass out it makes us really enriching, and it is very good, sir.
Nice. And what motivated you during the tough times, Ashwini?
Same, sir. I had set a goal. I did not want to give up. So I did not have a plan B also, to be honest. So that's the goal for which I kept on going. There were days when it was exhausting, it was tiring, but that goal is something I wanted to achieve, and I had to.
So come what may, you wanted to be a chartered accountant. Nice. So it's basically the determination that made you all whatever you are today. Nice. See, a lot of people talk about articleship. Articleship is what we know is you go and work under a chartered accountant, correct? What actually happens in articleship?
It's a practical training of what we have studied. We might have in exam we might have calculated what is tax payable for a salaried person, but here we actually calculate it, we file it to the department. So we practically do what we have studied. We assist our principal in varied litigations or many matters. We assist them. We get to learn what is happening in the industry. So that's, I think it is the beauty of this course that actually we practically do what we have studied. So before completion, that gives a confidence to us at the end of when we become CA. That practical exposure will build that confidence for us and gives the overall understanding of how the industry works.
How was your articleship experience, Ramya?
It was a 3-year articleship experience. So initially, the days were involved in audits, internal audits, statutory audits. We get to vouch a few of the invoices and get to know the crux of the business. So that is where vouching plays a very important role during our initial days, where we get to know about the company more, like what are the transactions that it involves. So without knowing everything, and if we directly see a balance sheet, we will not get to know like which is the expense, what is the criteria, why it is capitalized or why it is expense. So to build an understanding out of that, we need to have the understanding of vouching. We would have studied the basics of that during our auditing. So vouching is important. That is the audit evidence that we maintain. All these are whatever we had studied during our auditing paper, that will be same put up during our articleship. Initially, after that, during my second year and third year, I was put up for internal audits and tax audits and GST audits. Based on that, we gained experience, and the recent amendments and standards, we started collating and making an understanding out of it. For any person who is doing a chartered accountancy course, should take up that as a serious 3 years, or now it has made us 2 years, and that is very much important.
Ashwini, you told what you study is applied in articleship, and that's what makes this course beautiful. After the articleship, you are allowed to take up the final examination, correct? No? So what you do during articleship, will it have a bearing in your final examination? Will it help?
Yes, sir, very much. What happened is, the way I understood GST or income tax when I studied it that is before my practical training, and the way I understood GST or income tax after I completed my practical training, it is very different. We get different interpretations, we get different angles to the law, which we don't get in inter. After doing it practically, we'll be better able to appreciate the subject. In inter, we'll be studying, we'll be understanding, but we'll not be able to appreciate it more. But in final, the practical training will have very much importance when you are studying final exams.
Nice. So this brings me to the next question. When you are doing your articleship, is there any stipend that is paid?
Yes, sir, a small amount is paid, but one should not be motivated just because the amount is being paid and I have to complete this course. It cannot be like measured in terms of money. The knowledge that we get during our practical training is way beyond more than the stipend that we really get. So yeah, we do get a small amount of money. It is useful for day-to-day expenses during ours.
So do you mean to say it is extended college? You are not going to a college kind of an environment, but you are going to a place where you are learning and you still take home a small amount. Is it something like that?
Yes, it is like that. It depends. The stipend also will depend on the cities you work, and also some firms pay you more and some pay at least the minimum standard which is set by the institute. But overall, you should consider it as a learning experience and not only of earning money.
So if I have to choose articleship and there are two criteria, knowledge and money, you both are suggesting that I should go with knowledge and not with money.
Definitely.
Right. Thank you. This makes a lot of sense for people who are actually looking for articleship. Now let me come to the last segment of this podcast. Now that you did your preparation, then the proper action happened where you studied, completed your articleship, then took up the final examination. You are qualified chartered accountants now. You have your own practice and you are working for the big corporation in the world as of today. How does it feel?
Everything it has come true. Whatever the hard work that you have put till date, it is giving results now. So when a person being a chartered accountant, they say that you are a qualified chartered accountant. It gives us the proud feeling, and as I said, I am the only person in our family who has completed the CA course. It gives us a different feeling, sir, altogether. So when we go outside and we say that I am a qualified chartered accountant, the way the people see us, it is entirely different. The respect, the dignity, or whatever we get, it is totally different.
So basically you are getting that recognition.
Yes, definitely.
For all these things that you have done. Nice. Ashwini, my question to you is the hard work that has gone in and the results that are coming out now, can you equate the two?
Yes, sir. The tiring days that we have had, the late nights we have had, the results are equally rewarding. All those late nights are equally rewarding, and it is a very happy feeling, and it's also a sense of responsibility. You learn more. You just have to enjoy it and keep learning.
How does your family look at you now?
They have a different level. Even when they go out for a get together, they will proudly say that my daughter is a chartered accountant, as if they have achieved something. So that feeling, when they say that and I see that, it is totally different. I get that, oh, I have achieved something from them. So the total picture is entirely different.
Okay, now overall, how is the life of a CA? It's been a year now since you completed almost a year since you completed your CA final and you're practicing. How's the life of a practicing chartered accountant?
Again, it's very challenging, sir. We would think that after completion of studies, a battle is won, but there is another battle that has to be fought. What happens in exams are only we have to satisfy the evaluator, but here there is clients, yourself, or the department. You have to satisfy. That's very challenging task, and I keep following some senior chartered accountants on LinkedIn and other platforms. The way they view a particular aspect, their interpretations, all when reading all those, that makes me very humble and an interest to learn more. So it is very interesting and challenging at the same time to manage the clients, and you have to be updated with the latest developments. People expect you to be updated. So it is very challenging and good.
What made you take up employment and not start your own practice?
I just wanted to experience the corporate culture, corporate life, and there is also a saying that once a person completed CA, if a person takes up a practice, they cannot come back to employment. So I just did not wanted to grey out that area. I just wanted to first experience employment and then come back to.
So you have plans of having your own practice. How about you, Ashwini? What motivated you to set up your own office and start practicing?
As I already told, in my schooling, I wanted to be a businesswoman. That's the reason I took up commerce and all. So practice was actually challenging and interesting for me to work in the ground level, to work with the clients and to learn. So that's the reason I took up practice.
So Ashwini will never go and take up employment. She wants to be a practicing CA.
Yes.
Nice, good. Last question to you, to both of you. I'll ask this question to both of you. If you have to give a piece of advice to the aspirants, let us classify them into two categories. One set who are yet to begin, they are in their first PUC or maybe in high school, but they have this thought of becoming chartered accountants. What is the advice you would like to give them? And the second category is they've already started their journey and they are at different stages. So what is the advice that you have for them?
One thing is, they have to be very focused. So just because it is not a normal course where one can take up some time off and do their normal stuff and come back again, that cannot happen. One should be very focused and consistent. The second comes is the hard work that we really put in. There are some days which is very frustrating or irritating. One should cope up with all those issues and they should have a fixed goal that one should complete this particular course and become a chartered accountant. If they have that goal set and if they have the passion to do so, one can definitely achieve it, sir.
How about you, Ashwini? What is your piece of advice?
I think CA nowadays, CA is not only limited to accounts, audit. There are varied areas for where a CA can work these days. It may be investment banking, valuation, startups. There are so many areas in which we can work, and they prefer CAs. So CAs have a technical strong background, and that is why they prefer CAs. So because of that all hard work that you will put in with that focused determination, it is very rewarding, and there are multiple areas in which you can work. So I think have that focus. If you really want to aspire, if you really aspire to be a chartered accountant, determination is important. Don't pressurize yourself with saying it is hard or something. Have determination and continue.
Right. It was wonderful talking to both of you, and the entire college takes pride that you both are the alumni of this college. We wish you all the very best and like to see you progress and do great things in life. Thanks for coming.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much, sir.